Very good morning, folks. At the outset, let me welcome each and every one of you for the Fast Track webinar series for CA Intermediate, Paper 3, Cost and Management Accounting. This is Chapter 4 we are going to deal today. Very absorbing chapter, I must tell you, and overheads on top of your head. Okay, this is a chapter which you have to actually take it very lightly and understand the concept behind. This entire chapter is only 3A. 3A, 3 A's. What is that? Allocation of the overhead. Apportionment of the overheads. You have to do it in ratios. Allocation means direct. Apportion means you divide on some basis. And then absorb using an ab rate. It's called absorption rate. Otherwise called as an ab rate. Machine have a rate. Labor have a rate. So some ab rate you will arrive at to absorb into your cost of the unit, cost of production. This is the 3A, very simple, but you need to apply very carefully the concepts. So I'm going to take you into this. This is day 5 of the session, and I'm sure I'm going to deal only with the exam-oriented questions. Exam-oriented questions. So let me first start with the November 2018 question. Okay, November 2018. This is question number 5B2. This is with respect to NOP Limited. I repeat, this is with respect to NOP Limited has its own power plant and generates its own power. Okay, so let me have this. This is November 2018. Especially question number 5B2. 5B2. Good. This is NOP Limited. So this is the question. NOP Limited has its own power plant and generates its own power. Information regarding power requirements and power used are as follows. So you have 2 production department and 2 service department. So service department, whatever you are allocating the cost, apportioning the cost, it has to be redistributed to the production department. Then only you can absorb into the product. You can absorb into the product. So service department are, like for example, it can be a security services. It can be a canteen department. It can be services like a maintenance department. Okay, so all these are in support to the department. In support to the department. So therefore, anything which is spent there has also to be included in the cost. Okay, and how do you include? How do you arrive at the ab rate? One simple method is actually the entire costing. I'll tell you guys, entire costing. You are only going to do any exercise in costing. It's only one step. Add all the cost, divide by the number of units, get cost per unit. Add and division, that's all. But you have to apply it appropriately, properly. So let me tell you how this particular question works. And I'm sure once you get the logic, any kind of question you can crack. So this is the capacity of the company. So 20,000 horsepower capacity production used during the quarter in service department. Maybe this particular service department is like a water services department, because sometimes you may need water for the, what do you call it, as the production purpose, and service department will be actually supporting. So by taking the water from the well and then giving it for production purpose. So it can be anything. So service department can be anything. So during the quarter ended September 2018, this is for quarter, so 3 months. Please be very clear about it. So all these small things you need to actually focus. Cost for generating power, okay? Because for power you need water, okay? So water you have to actually boil it, make it steam, and then steam turbine you have to send, then turbine will run, and based on the turbine you will get the generation of power. So that is what it is. So that is what horsepower is given. Horsepower is given for service department means you have to take the water from the well. And maybe one more service department will be there. That is with respect to denaturing, because that will be a hard water. That hard water has to be converted to a soft water. So that converting that hard nature to soft nature also you may do a process. But by getting the water and converting your hard water to soft water, you are not producing power. You are only supporting the power plant. Okay. So whenever in costing, please understand the fundamental. Please understand fundamental. No. I will only focus on arithmetic. I don't want to understand how the business is done, how the manufacturing is done. Absolute absurd. Absolute absurd. Please ensure that unless and otherwise you understand how the business is functioning, we will not be in a position to actually appreciate the entire question. So therefore, spend time. Any faculty for that matter, please ensure, ask them, what is it, how this is connected or related to the production, please explain. Remember, if you understand business, problem will be very clear. Simple. Good. And the total cost for generating power amounted to 12,60,000. Wow. So, out of which 4.2 lakhs are considered as fixed. So that means the remaining is variable, fixed cost. Okay. So during the quarter ended, so this is your cost. Service department X, okay, renders services to department A, B, and Y in the ratio 6:4:2. Whereas department Y renders services to department A and B in the ratio of 4:1. The direct hours for A and B are 67,400, 67,500 hours, and 48,750 hours respectively. Prepare overheads distribution sheet. This is the first requirement. So let us do this, guys. So we have how many departments? We have 2 departments and 2 service departments. So we need minimum 4 columns, and we need a total column. So we need a basis, and maybe we need an explanation. So 4 plus 1 total plus 1 basis. So therefore 3 plus 4, 7 columns are required. So let us take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So let me take the 7 columns. So this is a statement showing. Okay, so what you need to do, your question, statement show overhead distribution. Overheads distribution. Okay. Well, so let's do this, guys. So we have this 4 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and total. Okay. So what is your 2 departments? Production department. So I'll call this as production department. And these are service department. And I'll call this as total. Okay. And I'll have the basis of distribution. And maybe I'll have the description. Okay. So this is how we understand the entire thing. Okay, good. So this is your company. So description, basis, production department. Good. So now what are the production departments you have? You have A, B, and X, Y. So A is a production department, B is a production, X is a service department, or I'll call it as Y as a service department, X as a service department. So I'll tell you why it is. So total. So this is where production department. Production department, I'll give a, and service department has to be redistributed. So I'll give a different color. Good. Now what is the basis? Okay. Description. Okay. Okay. Now let's go one by one. So what is your cost? Your cost is actually fixed cost is 4,20,000. Okay, fixed cost. That is already given in the question. So fixed overheads and maybe variable overheads. So what is your total? Actually, your total is 12,60,000. I repeat, it is 12,60,000. So this is 1260. And you have a variable overheads, no, fixed overheads of 420. Okay, so fixed overhead is 420. So naturally, what is the balance? The balance is 8,40,000. Now fixed overhead, we'll distribute based on the capacity. Okay, we'll based on the capacity. This is based on the used capacity. Okay. This is a full capacity. This is used capacity. So what is your full capacity? Your full capacity is needed capacity, 20, 25, 15 and 10. So the ratio is actually 20 means it's divided by 5. So it is 4:5:3:2 and total is 4:5:3:2. So I'll put this here. I'll put this basis here. 4:5:3:2. So what is your total, guys? Your total is actually 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 2, 14. So actually it is 4/14, 5/14, 3/14 and 2/14. So what I will do, so 4,20,000, okay, into 4/14. Similarly, 4,20,000 into 5/14. Okay, so that is 1,20,000, 1,50,000. Similarly, 4,20,000 into 3/14. Similarly, 4,20,000 into 2/14. From where you got 14, the total of this. This is the ratio. Now, how I got this ratio, guys? The ratio is the needed capacity. No, it is full capacity. Now, what is used capacity? 16,000. So, variable is based on the usage. Fixed, I will distribute based on the capacity. It is 16:20:12:4. It is actually divisible by 4. So, I mean, 4 4s are, 4 5s are, 4 3s are, and 4 2s are. I think this is also same. 4:5:3:2. So, again, it is in the same ratio. 4:5:3:12. Okay. So 4:5:3:2. But this 4:5:3:2 is based on used capacity. Okay. Technically, this is also same ratio. Needed capacity is also same ratio. It is 80%, exactly 80%, 80%, 80%. So the same ratio at which full capacity and the variable capacity has been done. So 80% capacity they have worked. So naturally, but I will be distributing 8,40,000 into 4/14. Okay. Similarly, 8,40,000 into 5/14. Similarly, 8,40,000 into 3/14. 8,40,000 into 2/14. In this question, even though the numbers are different, the ratio is same. So please be careful. Okay. So this is the interesting part in this question, based on full capacity and used capacity. Don't only put the ratio. If you put the ratio, there will be a question mark how you arrived at it. It will be presumed that you have used both full capacity to distribute. Mark will not come. So therefore, please ensure that you give this basis. Basis carries mark. I repeat, basis carries mark. Okay, basis carries mark. So, so this is your total, guys. I will say this is what we can call it as. Okay, you can call this as allocation or apportionment. This is apportionment. Now you have to do the reapportionment. Total overheads after apportionment. You know what does allocation means? Allocation is directly. For example, there are certain overheads which will be spent exclusively for the respective service department or for the production department. For example, overhauling of a machine. Overhauling of a machine will be done with respect to the respective production department only. So directly you can allocate that. You need not apportion it. But with respect to rent paid, with respect to general lighting and electricity paid, which is used for the entire thing, you need to distribute on some basis. So that is what it's called apportionment. Apportionment means where common expenses which is being consumed or used. Allocation means it's almost direct. It's directly you are allocating to that respective thing. Now we are going for the reapportionment. Okay. Now in the reapportionment, please look at this. First is X I am going to distribute in the ratio of 6:4:2. So that is why X. So reapportionment of department X. On what basis? Okay, reapportionment on what basis? 6:4:2. 6:4:2. Wow. So let me distribute this, guys. 6:4:2. Department. So now what is your total? Your total is actually 1,80,000, which is going to be distributed. So this is distributed in the ratio 6:4:2. So 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. So 6 by 12. So 1,80,000 into 6 by 12. Similarly, 1,80,000 into 4 by 12. Similarly, 1,80,000 into 2 by 12. Wow. So your 1,80,000 is distributed. So now, what is your total including X? So this is 3,60,000 plus 90. So you have got it. So it is technically 1,80,000 minus. 1,80,000 minus. So 1,80,000 has been distributed. So this is done. So if you take the sum is actually 0 because there is no additional thing. So in redistribution, you don't do anything. So this is redistribution. Subtotal. Subtotal. After distribution. After distribution of department X. Okay, after distribution of department. Now department Y. Department Y, reapportionment. So what is the ratio? Department Y renders services to department A and B. Okay, in the ratio of 4:1. So they give in the ratio of 4:1. Good. So this is the ratio. Good. So this is the ratio. So now what is your Y? Y is 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs. So this 3 lakhs we are going to distribute, guys, in the ratio of 4:1. So what is 4:1? Which is 5. So 4 by 5 and 1 by 5. So you are 1,80,000. We are giving it to how much? 1,80,000. 4:6:2. So it is so I think I'm sorry. This is I think I made a mistake here. This is X. This is Y. I'm sorry. I think while distributing, I made a small mistake. I think this is X because the ratio is 4:5:2. Maybe even though I have distributed like this is X and this is Y. Okay. I think I made a small mistake. So I will X only I have to distribute first. So therefore, what I will do. So I will distribute 2,70,000. Why? Because this 4:5:3:2. 3:2. 3 is X and Y is 2. And I have put it as X, Y and X. So therefore you have to be very careful. So here 2,70,000 into 6 by 12. So which is 135. Similarly, 2,70,000 into 4 by 12, which is 90,000. Similarly, y is 2,70,000 into 2 by 12, which is 45,000. So now we are going to distribute, okay, 225. Okay, we are now going to distribute 225. So minus 225 is going to be distributed. So in the ratio of 4:1. So 2,25,000 into 4 by 5. Similarly, you are 2,25,000 into 1 by 5. 2,25,000 into 1 by 5. So 45,000. So take the total, guys. Your total is actually 0. But what is your grand total now? After distribution of y, your total is 495 plus 180. This is 585. So all these are gone. So your sum is 675 plus 585. 1260. That's it. So originally your 1260 was distributed to all the 4. Now this 1260 is loaded to only production department A. Wow. So this is your answer. Statement showing overhead distribution. Your question is prepare overhead distribution sheet. So this is your one. Calculate factory overhead per labor hour for department A and B. So that is the next one. So calculation of statement showing calculation of your factory overhead per hour. Factory overhead per hour. Per hour for department A and B. So what is your production department A and B? This is your production department. So now what is your overheads? Factory overheads. After allocation, what do you call it as apportionment and reapportionment. So after allocation, apportionment and reapportionment. So your so this is your factory overheads after allocation, apportionment, and reapportionment. How much? 6,75,000 and 5,85,000. So what is your labor hours? Direct labor hours. So your direct labor hours. So it is given as 65,500 for department A and 48,750 for department B. So this is your overheads. So now what is your ab rate? This is called as ab rate. Other is called absorption rate. You can call it as absorption rate. This is your direct labor hour. We have to call it as factory overhead per direct labor hour. So factory overhead per labor hour is 6,75,000 by 67,500, 10 rupees. Similarly, this will be 12 rupees. So this is your second answer. So 10 rupees and 12 rupees. So this is how you present the answer. So the way you have to actually present it in examination matters a lot. Matters a lot. You have to put it in a proper table. Okay. So here this will be like this. So you need not worry about. So this is the one table. This is one table. So the way you present it in exam matters a lot. Okay, matters a lot. So very, very important. So now let's move on to the next question. So this is your entire question, NOB Limited. So November 2018. So next we are moving to your practical problem number 2. Here, in the previous problem, it was a 5-mark question, but it was a direct reapportionment, where X was distributing to A, B, and Y was distributing to A, B. But look at this question. You have Modern Manufacturers Limited as 3 production department, P1, P2, P3, and 2 service department, S1 and S2, pertaining to which as follows: direct wages, working hours, value of machine, okay, horsepower, light points, okay, floor space, etc. And they have given the figures, that is the expenses from the accounting records. Like these are all overheads: rent and rates, general lighting, indirect wages. Then you have what do you call it as power, and 1,500, and depreciation, which is 10,000. Sundries 9,695. Now these are the figures extracted from accounting records that are relevant. Find out the total cost. Now what is the distribution that is in? The expenses of service department are allocated as under. Okay, the expenses of service departments are allocated as under. So what has been allocated? Please look at this. S1 is allocated to P1, P2, P3, and S2. Okay, and S2 is allocated to P1, P2, and P3 means fine. It is like a previous question. It is also distributed to S1. So there is what is called it as a chain. So both are actually servicing, inter-service of the service department. Inter-service of the service department. So that means S1 is servicing S2 and S2 is servicing S1. So this lock has to be first unlocked. So how do we do it? There are 2 ways in which you can do it. So one, you distribute it using a redistribution table, which will be a little bigger, or you can construct a equation and then solve it. Any one you can do it. So which is, and after that they have given material cost, labor cost, and then you have to absorb the ab rate. Okay, the ab rate is, you have to find based on the, what is given here, total cost based on P1, P2, P3, the hours are 4, 5, and 3 hours. The total cost for product X, which is processed in P1, P2, P3, 4, 5, and 3 hours. So that means you have the working hours given. So you try to actually find based on the production hours. Okay. So the total production hours, this production hours, maybe we can call it as machine hours or labor hours. What is the working hours? It is actually should be a machine hours only. So based on machine hours, you will find the machine hour rate, and then you will multiply that machine hour rate for P1, P2, P3 into 4, 5, and 3 to absorb that overhead into the cost, because they have given the material cost 50 and labor cost 30. So very interesting question. So let's do this particular question, guys. So this is your practical problem 2. Good. So now let us first find what do you call it as the statement showing the distribution and distribution statement. Either you can call it as apportionment and reapportionment statement. Okay, so let's do that. So you have actually very similar to this. You have actually 3 production department, 2 service department. So the same column 1, 2, 3, 4. We did actually 5 plus 2, 7 column. Here we need maybe 8 columns. Okay, so I'll do 8 columns. So 1, 2. What is the name of this company? Modern Manufacturers Limited. Modern Manufacturers Limited. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll take this 8 columns. So this is a statement showing, okay, distribution of overheads. Okay. What is distribution you will be doing? you will do apportionment and reapportionment. Okay. So let's work out this particular question, guys. So now what do you have? You will have very similar to the description. Okay. We'll have the basis. Then you will have the production department. So how many production departments? 3 production departments. So production departments, which is actually P1, P2, P3. P1, P2, P3. Then you have the service departments. Okay. Which is S1 and S2. Okay, good. Then you have the total. So this is your basis, guys. So now we have the direct wages that has been given. And direct wages for P1, P2, P3 is a direct cost. But the wages paid for S1 and S2 is a overheads. So wages, we can call this wages as a overheads. So this is what we call it as allocation. Why it is allocation? Direct. It has been directly identified. So I need not do. So I will call it as allocation, apportionment and reapportionment. So this is allocation. It has been allocated to P1, P2, P3 also. But P1, P2, P3 is your... so this is your redistribution. Good. So what is your S1 and S2? 1,500 and 195. So what is your total? Your total is this 1,695. Okay, good. So now let's go to the next one. So what is the next one? These are all basis given. Now rent and rates 5,000. Rent and rates, the total is 5,000. It is already given. Now on what basis rent and rates I will distribute? Whether on value of machine, horsepower, light points, floor space. Naturally, rent is on floor space. So we'll call it as square feet. And the square feet, if you look at the ratio, it is 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 2,005. Everything is divisible by 500. So divide by 500. 4 is 2, 5 is 2, 6 is 2, 4 is 2, 1. So the total is 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 4, 19, 19 plus 1, 20. So 4 by 20, 5 by 20, 6 by 20, 4 by 20, 1 by 20. So the ratio I will put it here, the base is square feet. It is 4 is to 5 is to 6 is to 4 is to 1. So therefore, it is 5,000 into 4 by 20. Okay. Then 5,000 into 5 by 20. Similarly, 5,000 into 6 by 20. Similarly, 5,000 into 4 by 20. Similarly, 5,000 into 1 by 20. Okay. So that is your distribution. Similarly, you have general lighting, which is 600. So lighting is 600. Now all of you know lighting on what basis? Light points, if it is there. Floors, for example, sometimes light points if it is not given. Okay. Say in production department 10 light points are there, means more illumination. So more power will be consumed there. Here it is 5 light points, means only 5 related light only will be burning, and to that extent only the power will be consumed. So based on that. Otherwise you can even distribute in floor area if light points are not given. Okay. So if light point seems to be the more closest ratio, most closest. So it is Again, 10 is to 5 is to 20 is to 10 is to 5. Everything is again divisible by 5. So it is 2 is to 3 is to 5 4 are 20, 5 2s are 10, and 5 is to 1. So 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 2 is to 1. The total is 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 2 11, 11 plus 1 12. So 2 by 12, 3 by 12, 4 by 12, 2 by 12, 1 by 12. So let me put that here as light points. Okay, LP. LIGST points. So the ratio is 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 2 is to 1. So this is your ratio. So which is 600 into 2 by 12. Similarly, 600 into 3 by 12. Similarly, 600 into 4 by 12. Similarly, 600 into 2 by 12. Similarly, 600 into 1 by 12. And always please check this total. The total is 5,000 you have distributed. The total is 600 you have distributed. Good. So 100, 150, 200. So what's the next one, guys? The next one is your indirect wages 1939. Indirect wages. Indirect wages. So that means 1939. Which will be an ideal ratio to actually distribute your indirect wages. Now, whether it is floor space, actually any method you can do, but indirect wages is something unskilled labor. Unskilled labor who will be actually supporting because they are called as indirect labor. Now you have a direct labor who are skilled employees. For skilled employees only, the indirect labor will be supporting. So therefore, better to actually divide in the ratio of the direct wages. So you have to distribute in the ratio of direct wages. Okay. So what is the ratio there? Wow, 3,000 is to 2,000 is to 3,000 is to 1,500 is to 195. So what is your total actually? So maybe if I put that basis on top of it, just for so what is your direct wages? Your direct wages is 3,000, 2,000, and 3,000. 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, and 1,500 and 195. 1,500 and 195. So the total is actually 9695. So we will distribute in the above ratio, the direct wages ratio. So which is 1939 into 3,000 divided by 9695. So this is your ratio. So let me now so it is 600, 400, 600, 300, and 39. So that is the ratio at which I have distributed. Okay. So indirect wages. So what is the next one? You have power 1,500. So power, will you go by light points or will you go by horsepower of the machine, value of the machine, working hours? So horsepower of the machine is what you will actually use the power, because power has to be consumed based on maybe machinery. Sometimes service department may also use some machinery for cleaning purpose. Therefore horsepower. So 60 is to 30 to 50 to 10. So divide by 10. It is 6 is to 3 is to 5 is to 1. So total is 6 plus 3 9, 9 plus 5 14 plus 1 15. So 6 by 15, 3 by 15, 5 by 15, and 1 by 15. So that is the ratio. So horsepower, which is 6 is to 3 is to 5 is to 1. So the total horsepower is 1,500. So you will distribute 1,500 into 6 by 15. Similarly, 1,500 into 3 by 15. Similarly, 1,500 into 5 by 15. Similarly, 1500 into 1 by 50. So this is your total 1500. So as far as S2 is concerned, no. Why no? Because there is no horsepower consumed. What is the next one? Depreciation on machine. So depreciation on machine, you can go by the machine cost. Machine cost is there, value of the machine is there. So it is 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 5,000. Divide by 5,000, it is 12 times 60, and it is what do you call it as 18 times, sorry, 16 times 18. Okay, then you have 20 times 100, 1 is to 1. So 12 is to 16 is to 20 is to 1 is to 1. So the total is 12 plus 16 is 28, 28 plus 20 is 48, and 50. So 12 by 50, 16 by 50, 20 by 50, 1 by 50, and 1 by 50. So this is the ratio. So this is the value of machine or machine value. So the ratio is 12 is to 16 is to 20 is to 1 is to 1. This is the machine. So what's your total, guys? Your depreciation is actually 10,000. So now it is 10,000 into 12 by 50. So 2,400. 10,000 into, what do you call it, a 16 by 50. And 10,000 into 20 by 50. And 10,000 into 1 by 50. And 10,000 into 1 by 50. So this is your depreciation. Now Sundries 9695. Sundries is 9695. 9695. Good. So how do you distribute the sundries? Actually, you can do it in any method. Maybe floor space also you can do. But sundries is like generally some unskilled people will actually make some expenditure. So better actually do it on direct wages rather than on any other basis. If it is general overheads or general expenses, better always go by direct wages, because majority of the overheads will be connected with people. If only people is there, then overheads will be there. So therefore, again, we can go by the direct wages. So we have the same basis. We can apply the same basis. So that is your 9695 into your 3000 divided by 9695. So the same basis we'll apply. And so let us, yeah, so this is your 3000, 2000, and 3000, and 1500, and 195. So this is your subtotal or total. So what is your total of your overheads? This is your total of your overheads, which has been allocated and absorbed. Similarly, your total of all this, if you total, it is 30,429. So now add all this overheads, it is 30,429. It should be 30,000. So your step 1 is over actually. So find out the total cost. In total cost, you have done the distribution is over. Now you have to do the redistribution. Now the redistribution ratio is 20 is to 30 is to 40 is to 1. S1. Okay. So redistribute. S1 is redistribution, which is 20 is to 30 is to 40 is to 10, which is 20%. That is, we can call it as 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 1. Okay. 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 1. Okay. So therefore, the total is 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 1. So 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 1, 10. So 2 by 10. So S1 will be, what is S1? 4,700. So the 4,700 into 2 by 10. Okay. Similarly, 4,700 into 3 by 10. Similarly, your 4,700 into 4 by 10. So this is minus 4,700. Okay. And this is 4,700 into 1 by 10. So it is 470. So the total 4,700 is gone. As far as sum is concerned, it is gone. But now you are going to redistribute S2. Okay, S2. So what is your redistribution ratio? Your redistribution ratio is 4 is to 2 is to 3 is to 1. So 4 is to 2 is to 3 is to 1. I think almost to same. The 10 only. 4 by 10, 2 by 10, 3 by 10 and 1 by 10. Because 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 1, 10. So it is actually 4 is to 2 is to 3 is to 1. Now the total of S2 will be 929 plus 470. 929 plus 470 will be actually 1,399. So let me distribute this 1,399. So which is your 1,399. So what I will do, I will take the subtotal. Subtotal after redistribution of S1. So what is your subtotal now? This is your total. Same total, 30,400. Now this is your subtotal. Now what you are going to now distribute, guys? You are now going to distribute 1,399. So 1,399 into 4 by, I will say 10. Okay. Similarly, 1,399 into 2 by 10. Similarly, which is 290. Similarly, 1,399 into 3 by 10 and 1,299 into 1 by 10. So this is your total. So now what is your total? So which is now technically you have this is sum of both, which is 470. This is 1,399. So what is your total? So 0. So your total here is 3420. Now here this 139.90 again has to be redistributed. Now this is you have to do it continuously to arrive at this calculation, so that ultimately the entire 30,429 gets reallocated here. This is one method. There is another method where you structure a equation. You structure. So the same step number 1 and 2, this 14th line and 16th line will be again repeated. Why? Because now this 139 will be distributed in 2 is to 4 is to 3 is to 1. And again this 1 will be there, 1/10 will be there. That will be distributed into 4 is to 3 is 2 is to 3 is to 1. Again that will be distributed. So ultimately you get it in paisa. You for maybe in the last 2 decimal points you will do it. It is ultimately some 2-3 steps only, not more than 2-3 steps. Maybe I have a little time. Maybe if you wish, I can do this once again. Okay. So what I will do now, this S1 redistribution. So this S1 redistribution, let me do it once again. So very similar to this. Okay. So 27.98, 41.9, And similarly, it is 13.99. So what is your total? You have to actually minus this. So 139.9. So that has been distributed. So now, what is your subtotal after redistribution of S1? Okay. So maybe that need not be done. If you wish, you can do that. Now, let me do the redistribution of your. Maybe I'll again keep this here. So, what is your total, guys? So, this is your total. So, 9227.58. So, 9031.77. And now you have 13.399, which has to be redistributed. So, which is S2. So, this 13.99 will be redistributed. So, how it will be done like this? Okay. So, the same. So, it will be 5.66. So, this will be negative. Now, so, this is gone. So, this is now gone. So, now you have another 1 rupee 40 paisa to be again distributed. Okay. Again, 1 rupee 40 paisa has to be again redistributed. So, let us take the total now. So, what is your total after distributing? Okay. So, this is your total after distributing. So, what is your total now? The same 30,429. So, now you have got this 4,700 and 929, which is almost 5,629, has been loaded here. The last one bit that has to be loaded is only 1.4. So this 1.4 I'll again redistribute it. Okay, with the 2:3:4:1. Okay. So in the same ratio I will do it. Maybe this will come in very chiller, which is 0.28, 0.42, and maybe one more you can do. Which will come to 0.14. Very, very chiller, very small. So now take subtotal after redistribution. So what is your subtotal now after redistribution? Which is 9223.46, 9034. So what is your total? The same, 30,429. Okay. So what did I distribute? I distributed this, no. So I should have done. So now this 14 paisa again I have to distribute, which will be very, very small, minuscule. It will be very minuscule. Okay. This is again I will redistribute. This 14 paisa, which if you distribute it, there's only 1 paisa is come. So this 14 paisa is already distributed to 6, 3, and 4. That is 13 paisa. Maybe you can distribute this 1 paisa also to somewhat the same. You can ignore that 1 paisa. Ultimately, you can ignore that 1 paisa. Okay. So what is your total now? So this is your total. So your total is 30,428.99. So that 1 paisa you can just round it off anywhere. Maybe you can round it off with 9223.52. Instead of 51, you can put it as 5. Now this you have to divide by the working hours. How many hours in the question given? Working hours given in the question is 3070, 3070, 4475, and 2419. Yes. This is your working hours. So this 1 paisa you can round it off with anyone. Either maybe you can do it with this one. So it may not make much difference. Okay. So what is your, this is actually what hours, working hours. So you can call it as ab rate, absorption rate. Absorption rate is direct labor hour, which is 9233.51 divided by 3070. So almost 3 rupees. So this is your average. This is your answer. So 3 rupee 1 paisa, 2 rupee 2 paisa, 5 rupee 3 paisa. Now the question is find the total cost of product X. So statement showing total cost of product X. So total cost of product X is as material cost is 50. So direct material cost is 50 rupees. Then you have the direct labor cost 30. Labor cost is 30. Good. Then you need to find the overheads. P1, P2, P3 is 4 hours, 5 hours, and 3 hours. So your factory overheads are department P1, department P2, and department P3. How many hours? 4, 5, and 3 hours. So number of hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours. So this is your hours. So naturally your rate is given here, 3.01 per hour ab rate, 2.02 ab rate, and 5.03 ab rate. Multiply 4 into 3.01. So that is your absorbed overheads. Absorbed factory overhead absorbed. Okay. So this is your hours. This is your ab rate. So this is your ab rate. So factory overhead. Now what is your this is 10.09 and 15.08. So what's your total, guys? Your sum, the material plus labor plus overhead. So 117.21. So this is your final answer. So what do you call it as? This is your total cost. You can call it as total cost. Statement showing total cost of product. This is your answer. Ultimately, what is required is 117.21. Now here that 1 paisa I have ignored. 1 paisa I have ignored. So therefore, your answer will be what you call approximation of 1 paisa will be there. So you can round it off this to, you can always round this to the nearest paisa. To the nearest paisa. So 117 point, or you can make it as 1 digit. Only 1 digit you can make. So it is 117.20. That's all. That 1 paisa I am ignoring. That second digit I am ignoring for your kind information. Okay. So 117.20. That is your rounded answer with respect to your total cost. So guys, thank you very much. I am sure you would have done a great round of with respect to overheads. So please go through this once again, and I am sure you will do wonders in your examination. Okay. So thank you very much, and have a great day.